So we are Loops and Lap Bars International, and we are here at Plopsaqua, at Panne.
We are indeed. This is our first park and first water park of the trip, and we got to say, first impressions, really, really nice.
Yeah,
it's as well themed as Rulantica, I feel.
But just not as big.
Just not as big.
Because when I knew this place was not going to be as big as Rulantica, obviously. But I got in and thought, this place is simultaneously as big as I expected and smaller than I expected. It's weird.
It's compact but spread out.
One of the things I'll preface with this is that we're going to do this intro here, and then probably not going to do much talking because, unlike Rulantica, I've learned from my mistakes. The camera is currently out of a case. I have a case. And it's going to be a faff getting in and out. So we will do very few updates in between times. It might even be a case we do this one, have a great day, and then we'll update you at the end.
We'll get you an update at lunch and an update when we leave.
Yes, because this is also the first outing of the new camera. I've replaced the GoPro with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, so hopefully we'll do a good job here. And the case, as I say, learning from Rulantica where the water knackered the GoPro's microphones, so it made it very difficult to hear us. Hopefully.
It's chest mounted as well, so this time around you're not going to see the bottom of a pool.
Yeah, hopefully anyway. It looks like that we can see there's 3 major water slides, and then there's a couple of indoor sort of slides. But it's going to be enough to enjoy at the very least. So we'll go on. We'll just go on and do it.
Have a go, yes.
So we are going to be able to update you because fortunately we are having actually some small problems. Chief of which the case that I've got that's supposed to be keeping the camera from getting wet is not keeping the camera necessarily from getting wet. Water's getting in, which is causing condensation as the camera heats up and expands the water. Not sure why that's happening. Anyway, don't buy cheap cases off Amazon. But it does mean that we can stop and give an update, which the first one we're going to update you on is a wild river, which as the name implies, it's like a wild river.
Yeah, and this one I feel is better than Rulantica's one. The trough itself is a lot smoother, there's a lot more water through it, so you move a lot quicker and a lot better. And because it's a bit more like that, you're a bit more controlled on your bum, which is really, really nice. And it's a little plunge pool at the end. It's very well themed in there, but then all the water parks are very well themed.
Yeah. For some reason, very much like Rulantica's one, they've gone for a sort of a snow kind of aesthetic with the Vikings here, and I don't know why it works. It's weird. You should feel cold, but you don't. Anyway, Wild River. I thought it was. It's not. I don't think it's as good as Rulantica's one. Rulantica's one is longer and such. But this one does have a bit more sort of speed to it, and it's definitely better taken with you lying on your back rather than sitting up, because I got stuck a couple of times. But it's absolutely fine. Sort of great fun is Wild River. The next one we had to go on was, and I think we're going to butcher this one, but I think it's Vleenda Banden, which is sliding tyres, which is, it implies is it's a ring slide.
Yeah, and it's exactly that. You can go down in a 1-person ring or a 2-person ring, and it is nice and slidey. It's quite wide, and you do get quite a bit of woof, woof. And if you're not careful at the very end, as you come out the tube, it will completely upturn you, which is fun, but also can be a bit woo if you're not expecting it. But the plunge pool it goes into, though, isn't that deep, and it's nice and smooth, so you've got no worries about coming out of any injuries. Yeah,
nothing scratching or anything like that. No, it was a good time. It was sliding tyre. They're going to call it that just for your safe butchering it anymore. I like the fact that the tube is wide enough that you can turn around, so that you will spin and you'll be going to part backwards, part forwards. But if you sat in the tyre and you put your feet down with your soles of your feet flat on the slide, it will stop you from turning because you can stabilise yourself. So if you don't want to go backwards, that's how you do that.
Yeah, I turned myself around halfway down the tube.
I did the same thing, so obviously I'm trying to record these things, and it's very difficult when you're spinning around. But anyway, what is weird with the slides is that they're completely self-service. You do have green and red lights, which tell you to stop and go, but there's no staff at all.
No.
Which is, in some ways, it's nice. In other ways, not so much. We've not done Skydrop yet, which once the camera's dried out, I'm going to go and give that a go.
Dave is, I'm not.
Yeah, which is it's a drop floor slide. So looking forward to seeing what that one's going to be like. But other than that, there was disco slide, wasn't there?
Yes, disco slide is one of them. Body slide, yeah. So you sit in and away you go. And it works better if you are lying down slightly. We both discovered this one. But yeah, nice little slide into a trough. It's all good.
Yeah.
Like, a few twisty-turny bits and a few... up. If you get your speed up, you get up the side a little bit.
I didn't really get too much from that. It was absolutely fine time, but it didn't chuck you around or anything like that. It wasn't too rough with you or anything. So, yeah, all the slides so far have been absolutely fine. And then after that, we had to go on Vikings, Viking race, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, Viking race. Now this is part of the kids' play area stroke splash zone, which is built up above the top of the pools, which is something a little bit different. They've got a couple of slides up there that are predominantly just for children in that section.
Yeah, 1.4 metre or below, so yeah, we can't go on those.
Yeah, we can't go on them. And yeah, they've got one called Viking slide, which from the top looks rather steep, and it is a little bit of a steep drop. But nice little bit of fun. You get smashed in the face with the water if you go down with someone that's as big as us.
Yes, and gentlemen, be careful because it will batter you in places. So yeah, just be aware of that one. It's not uncomfortable or anything like that. It's just literally a slide, but it's still good fun though.
It is. One of the other unique things they've got here that Rulantica didn't have, or Belawade for that matter, is an actual proper lane swimming pool. So say you're with older grandparents that just want to have a sort of mosey breaststroke around, they can go have a mosey breaststroke around, and I like that.
Yeah.
That's catered for kind of everybody.
Not just that though, it's also got proper sort of I don't know what you'd call them, but it's the platforms that they jump off, so you can
diving boards.
Yeah, you can dive into the swimming pool and swim
starting
properly.
blocks.
Weirdly though, it's 2 metres deep at the diving end, but then it tapers out to nothing at all at the other end, so you can't really do proper sort of turns in the water sort of thing without smashing your feet on the floor. But yeah, it's still a nice thing to have. And then they've got a wave pool, which we've not done yet, but the wave pool does look quite interesting. It's not quite as aggressive, I think, as Rulanticas or Portaventuras.
It does look like it has rain above it as well, so that looks quite interesting.
Yeah, it's rain effects and flashing lights. It's simulating basically a thunderstorm, which is quite cool. So I'm going to hopefully get on that a bit later. But yeah, next stop's going to be Skydrop, and then we're just going to carry on wandering around. Once the camera needs some time again, we'll update you on those. So that's that. Come to the end of the day. I did get to go on Skydrop, which is a drop slide, and I didn't see anything because I closed my eyes for the whole way down, purely because the last one of these that I did was at Europa Park, and it got spray right in my face. Didn't particularly enjoy that so much, so I thought, close my eyes. We can take the camera on, so the camera, as I've seen, did quite well. But yeah, it was quite thrilling and whatnot, and I think it was somewhat better than the one at Europa Park because it didn't spray your face as much as the other one did. It didn't feel like it was trying to inject water up your nose anyway. So yeah, queued quite a long time for that though.
Yeah, it reopened about 3 o'clock, and by that stage there were quite a couple of school groups in and kids obviously. So yeah, a bit of a queue for it. I didn't do it because after Rulantica I was like, nope, they're not going to be my favourite type of ride. And but yeah, we've had a really nice day here. Theming's pleasant, There's enough to do if you come in, if you've been in Plopsaqua all day and you want to just chill out. Yeah, and there's probably, to be fair, if you've got little ones with you, they're going to love it here.
Yeah, I'll say that with it. It's not the biggest water park that we've been to.
No.
I think it's probably on par with Bellawade's water park, actually. But it's still a good time. There's still, as you say, plenty to do. And what's nice is, like today, Plopsland closes at 5, but here closes at 8.
Yeah.
So you could realistically get, do a mostly day at Plopsland, and then come in here for less, 3.5 hours sort of thing, and still get everything done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be an action-packed day, but we know that for future, because I knew it weren't going to be massive.
Yeah.
But I think it sort of exceeded, well, not exceeded, it met expectations in terms of size. I wasn't expecting a massive Rulantica style park, but I would say that it probably is smaller than Alton Towers water park in some ways. Alton Towers has got, like a few outdoor sections.
Yeah.
Here's only got one. Alton Towers got a water coaster. There's no water coaster here, but I think the Towers have got more slides and it's a slightly bigger park, but here's got more theming.
Yeah, here is a lot better spaced out as well. Even though the park, it's got fairly busy at the moment, it doesn't feel like you're on top of each other.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Yes, the outside section could probably do with a swim up bar. That would be really, really nice out there. Maybe a couple of umbrellas in the pool just to give it a bit of shade.
Yeah.
But it is nice to sit there and occasionally watch essentially the top of Ride to Happiness go over, or the Starflyer that's over the other side of the park.
Yeah, I didn't realise how close to the entrance of Plopsland the water park actually is. Obviously, I know that they were connected, but yeah, the outside section is separated by a hedge, and then you've got Plopsland.
Yeah, and the outside section, like the inside section, has got a lot of seating as well. It's a bit grassy outside, so you can always go sit out there and chill if you don't want to get in the pool. And there's also a sauna.
Well, I've not used the sauna, but as you say about the grass outside, it's AstroTurf, so you don't have to worry about getting bits on your feet or anything like that. It seems, well looked after. It's coming. It's its 10th anniversary this year. That's part of the reason why I wanted to do it. Spoilers for later visits, but there's going to be 2 other parks that celebrate anniversaries as well on this visit, which is why they're on this visit. Why one of them is getting 2 days. Anyway, so yeah, it looks nice. Well maintained staff. You don't really interact with many staff. The gentleman that was serving dinner, which we'll talk about in a second, he was pleasant enough. Lifeguards kind of left you alone, and that's been the nice thing. It's been really, really self-service. Yeah,
it has, and like they're not too worried about kind of what you're bringing in, as long as it's kind of within their rules and regulations. When Dave was on Skydrop, there was a man going down the water slides with a bum bag across his chest.
I didn't see that.
So, yeah.
It seems like at the start of the video we said that you need a chest strap. Bring a chest strap with you, but for the vast majority of the time you don't actually need to be using it. No one seems to be enforcing that, and I'm not saying that you should definitely break rules. I'll be completely honest, I wasn't using my chest mount, or at least I wasn't having it just attached to me. I was holding it in my hand a lot of the time because it was just so much better. But yeah, it's been really good in that regard. As for the food, as we said, we were surfacing food. We had hamburger, chips and a drink. There's not really an awful lot of choice, but it's not really a big enough place to warrant that, I suppose.
15 euros for the burger, chips and a drink, which, to be fair, is slightly higher than sort of we're used to paying, but it's good value for money and you don't mind paying it. And it's quite filling. I mean, to say, I was surprised. I was getting halfway through mine and just like, right, okay. Well,
yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily good value for money, but it's not a rip-off. Because I think that probably does put it in comparable price to Aramark. But the difference here is that, you've got it was liquid cheese, weren't it? With cheese sauce on the cheese.
Yeah, it was melted.
And then you've got gherkins on the bottom as well as fried onions. And it just came together to make a very, very tasty burger.
And it was all done fresh as well. That was the other thing. We were literally waiting 5 minutes, if that, and it was all done fresh in front of us practically.
Yeah, while he was doing it. It's not fresh like Europa Park or Phantasialand in that, it's a gourmet sort of meal. It's still, at the end of the day, a hamburger and chips.
Chips, yeah.
But I believe that the poor bloke who does the serving is also doing the cooking. Yeah, definitely recommend it. You don't need a full day. As I say, do Plopsland first and try and get it so that Plopsland's got a lesser opening hours to what here has. Exactly the same as we're complaining about Alton Towers not doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, you'll get everything done in one day then.
Yeah.
So that saves you having 2 days like we've done. But we were travelling, so it's absolutely fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
So next one of these is going to be from Hobart Land.
It is. Yes.
That's tomorrow.
Yep. I haven't been back there in 3 years. I think it is now.
Two years. We visited first in 2023, and not a lot's changed on the looks of it, but we don't really mind. We're just getting back there to just get on the rides and do the things that we missed. So with that, that's going to wrap up Plopsaqua for their 10th anniversary.
It is.
Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Will do.